Hello, flip floppers.
I'm in the show, it says.
You're in the show.
We're live.
1 second, I'm getting some feedback. Boom.
Do
So,
we have people who have a deal of the week for us? People that want us to look at their deals? I think Cammie said that there's at least one.
I heard that we are trying to get oh shoot, the guy in Ohio. What is his name? I was just talking to him.
Bill Day?
What was that?
Bill Day?
Bill Day. Bill Day, I think, wants to come on and talk about his deal in Ohio. And then Adon has 2 deals as well.
Okay.
Let me ping Cammie and see if Bill Day does Bill Day have the link. Mike knew it. Bill Day. And then we are going to talk about Roatan, which is we just got back from Roatan, guys. We were there Friday to Monday looking at a development deal that's going on out there, and it is pretty dang interesting, let me tell you. And then Adon, while we were in Roatan, got 2 houses under contract, so he's going to come on, and we're going to talk about Adon's deals as well.
Yeah, so, I can't wait to hear about Adon's deals because he said he called me, wanted to know if I wanted to partner, but I didn't answer in time, and then he just raised all the money and did the deals without me, which I'm actually perfectly fine with. Hey, Adon.
And Adon's here. But, man, that's the way to do it, too, guys. When you are calling people and you're raising money, just go raise all the money. If someone ignores your call, if they say, I'm not talking to that guy, well, just go get the money from somewhere else. I'll tell you, my dad's definitely taking Adon's next call if he wants to be in on the deal. Both of you guys are on mute.
I'm back.
All right.
Adon on mute. Yeah, I agree, McKenna. You guys, when you have a deal, you have to act fast. Adon got 2 deals under contract. It's kind of like back-to-back, one after another. And he put out the call for raising the money. He had the money raised before I responded to the call. So I'm out. And that's the way that goes, right? Like that's how it happens.
That is the way that it
now,
goes.
I know that if I had said, hey, Adon, I really want to be in, he'd have let me in. But I think it's great that he's going to do a deal or 2 on his own.
I wonder, are you seeing Adon's screen right now? I don't
yeah,
know if he knows that.
Adon's, that looks like all. I think it almost looks like Adon's butt.
Adon
must not realize that we're live.
I'm going to take him off. Oh, man. It's exactly what you were saying, though, Dad, that doing these deals, funding these deals. I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought with Adon's ass there.
No, when you have a deal, it's just super important that so this is true if you're a wholesaler or you're an operator. And either way, you're trying to put the deal together and raise the money. If you're a wholesaler, if you call up someone and you think you've sold it to them, but they don't give you a contract and a deposit, you don't really have a deal. So it's about the first person who actually says yes and then shows up with the money. So if you're an operator and you're going out there and you're going to partner with someone who's going to put in the money, you need to raise the money first and foremost. So if you call the first guy, in this case it was me, and I don't respond because I'm out on a jet ski somewhere or I'm scuba diving, then my loss. You move on to the next person and you get the deal done as fast as you can, because velocity of money is what's super powerful for you guys. You gotta be turning money. And Don and I will do plenty of deals. He's going to do 30 or 40 deals this year. I'm sure I'll be in a bunch of them. But he can't wait. He can't wait for me. I don't wait for people. You shouldn't wait for people either. You got to put your deal together. Once you've got a great deal, it's okay to say yes, and then you go get the money. That's when the money becomes important. Timing is everything. Did I lose you, McKenna?
Hey, sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
So speaking of the velocity of money, this is a really cool thing, guys, that I think people don't think about enough. But let's say you make 12% on a flip. I'm just going to do some real basic math. You make 12% in 6 months. So you go from 100,000 to 112,000. And then you make another 6 or 12% in 6 months on that money. So that would be what?
24% in a year.
More than that, because you now on your second deal you made 13,444 plus the
You
12,000 you've
compound
already
it.
made. So now you're at 25.4%, even though you only made 12% each time. So the velocity of money allows you to make huge gains very rapidly because you're compounding. I hope that makes sense to everybody.
There's another formula. I mean, the same thing, but let's say you made 12%, but you did it in a month.
Oh yeah.
So now it's not necessarily that you're going to be able to do that once a month for a year, but you would still calculate the return of $12,000 divided by the 100. That's 12%. And then you would say times 12, because in theory, you could do that deal 12 times. And so your actual cash on cash return goes through the roof, percentage wise, on an annual basis.
Yes. So let's talk about Roatan while we're waiting for Adon to come in here.
Yeah.
So we were out in Honduras over the past weekend, guys, looking at a development deal. We met a guy named Scott. He's developing, it's like 2,500 lots, and that's split up between condos and single family homes all over the island. And man, it was very impressive meeting this guy, seeing what he's doing. I mean, he's standing to make hundreds of millions of dollars, if he successfully executes everything that he's doing. So it's a very impressive development that he's doing all over the island of Roatan. And man, what a good time it was. And I've also never seen a developer, guys, that is as well connected as he is. He is plugged in with the local government, with the local people, and he just has everything going his way in order to make these things successful. It's pretty cool to see.
Yeah, so you guys, we talk about this a lot. When we go flying for dollars or driving for dollars or looking for a deal, we're always looking for a reason to say no. And then we say yes to the stuff that really makes sense. And so after showing up to Roatan, honestly thinking, and McKenna, we haven't talked about this, but I honestly went there thinking, there's no way in hell I'm buying something in Roatan. I already live on an island in Puerto Rico. I've invested millions and millions of dollars on the island that I live on and that I love. I'm not going to Roatan thinking I'm going to invest. I went to Roatan for a couple of reasons. One, I like to look at tons of things. Two, the guy who invited us, Jeffrey Hazlett, is a world-renowned entrepreneur, and I don't have a whole bunch of friends that are like more in the know and powerful than that guy. And so when he was asking us to come and look at it, I was very curious as to see, what makes this guy think that Roatan is so good. So I went for that reason, but I certainly didn't go there thinking that we would put a penthouse condo under contract that's not even been built yet for $1.5 million. But we did. We've come away with a deal in hand to buy a penthouse condo for $1.5 million that we fully expect to be worth $3 million by the time it's built. And that could be ambitious. Maybe it's not going to be worth $3 million, but it's damn sure going to be worth more than what we're paying for it. And we get to pay for it over time, and it'll take a while for him to develop it. Back to the idea of how connected this developer was, we didn't go look at one development. He has property all over the island. We looked at least a dozen different developments, and it's not just the same guy. The guy we were with, he says he's the second largest developer on the island. He's as connected as anybody. One of his business partners is probably the most connected guy on the island. And then we got to have dinner with the new governor. We got to see firsthand the things he'd already built. We stayed in this magnificent mansion with beautiful ocean views. I'm not convinced that I'd want to live on the island of Roatan like I live in Puerto Rico.
Yep.
But I'm convinced that that's a great place to have a vacation home and to go when we don't have it rented out. And so that going back to the deal that we have under contract now, our sort of worst case scenario is to make 25% renting it out nightly, or we make a little less than that and we set up some kind of use, time use for all of the partners. And oh, by the way, we're looking for partners. So if you're interested in Roatan, let us know.
Mike's comment here, he says, I hope you didn't buy a timeshare. Well,
It's
Mike,
not
the
a
best thing
timeshare,
about
Mike.
buying a $1.5 million penthouse condo, we get 2 weeks of the year. We can go anytime we want. No. I'm kidding. You know, I was a little worried that it would be like that, Mike. You know, we fly in and they show us a timeshare or they show us a pushy presentation, but that was not the trip we had at all. It was what we love to do. Go look at real estate, go look at projects, and then we did some fun things as well. We went fishing, which was really fun. We went boating and went snorkeling, which was pretty cool. And
we rode on jet skis, which beat the hell out of me. I'm all bruised up. I liked Jeff and Scott's way that they presented the island. Here's what we're doing. Again and again, it's like, here's what we're doing. Here are the numbers on this one. This is how you could participate if you're interested. Don't want to do it? No problem. We're going to do it.
Yeah.
That's exactly the way that we do our projects. When I come to a community like Apex, or even if I call Garrett Smoke, my friend, I don't call saying, hey, do you want to put some money in here? And if you don't, I'm not going to do the deal. I call 100% sure that what I'm making is an offer for participation. And so I'll call Garrett and say, Garrett, I'm buying this place. Would you like to go in on it with me? Or I'll bring something to Apex and say, hey guys, this is what we're going to do. We're going to buy this 13-unit apartment complex in Connecticut, and we're looking for some capital partners. Who's interested? And then if we don't have capital partners that come alongside of us, we're going to do it anyways. We're going to go get a hard money loan, or we're going to figure out some other way. I'm going to sell something. I'm going to do it. But once we've decided we're going to buy something, we have a close rate that's ridiculous, right? Like, so we basically 100% of the time, if we get to the point where we say we're doing it, we do it. So I tell my friends this, because every once in a while I'll be asked later on by someone who didn't participate with us, and they'll inevitably say, hey, what happened to that investment you asked me about? And I'll say, oh yeah, I bought that and I renovated it and I sold it, or I bought that and now we're operating a hotel there and we're making a bunch of money. The answer is never, oh, we decided not to do it. So I liked their style. I liked that a lot. That this is what we're doing. Would you like to participate?
I did too.
If not, no problem.
And guys, we'll definitely talk more about Roatan. We'll have some master classes. Probably, something we wanted to talk about this year in some of the master classes is investing internationally, because that's something we're interested in doing. We're interested in buying a house in Japan. We're interested in getting one in Argentina. We're interested in going all over the world, and investing for the lifestyle as opposed to investing for maximizing return. Now, we're not trying to lose money anywhere we go. But
well, we're going to maximize return.
We're going to maximize. But what I'm saying is, if we make 18% buying something in Japan,
yeah,
I'm very happy with that versus making 25% in Puerto Rico.
For sure. Yeah, and there's a lot of reasons to do that. One, we want to be able to travel to these places and use the property, but also there are things like having a visa that allows you to live there because you've invested, or even maybe in certain cases getting a passport. So that is something that, again, we're very interested in.
Mike says, I'm struggling with international wires. Mike, what's your struggle? I have a great banking relationship right now with a bank that can help. I regularly am sending wires to Sweden for Marcus, who's on our team. I think a lot of you guys have met him before. And they're very easy to send. I send 2 a month. So let me know, Mike. Adon, are you ready to come on? You're on mute.
We'll find out if I'm ready.
All right.
Ready. He's born. This guy's born ready.
Born ready.
buying deals left and right. Robert won't answer the phone. F you, Robert. I'm doing it without you.
Yep. You went to your colonizing and
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
You're gonna
Robert's
go
never going to
colonize
dodge
another
these
island?
allegations.
I'll do it without you.
I'm just a damn indigenous. Damn it.
So are we
Jeez,
talking
man.
about your deals, Adon?
Yeah, we could talk about them. That's cool. I sent a one sheet over through the WhatsApp chat, McKenna, and I can send the other one too.
Let me pull it up. All
Let me
right.
send the other one.
I've got it here.
See, guys, if you want to learn, you want to see how being prepared is, just look at my one sheet.
That's right. And, you know, it's nothing too crazy, but I've got it pulled up. You should all be able to see it now.
See?
There it is.
So, to be confirmed on the property address. We do have the pen, though, and that's the most important thing. Let's see where
Yeah,
it is.
I didn't put the address. I didn't have it at the moment, but I have it now. I mean, if you really want to look for it, 651 Guayaquil.
I just like looking at it on the map so everybody gets a good idea of where it is.
If you write 651, oh, well, you have the pin. Never mind.
I got the pen. Yeah, I got the
Coordinates.
the coordinates, which are the best thing.
So I got there.
That beauty right there.
Yeah, I got there with Emmanuel. That's the one. I got there with Emmanuel and Eduardo. We got there early, so we drove around the neighborhood. I did this at my at the coffee hour, so everybody that was at the coffee hour that Friday, they got to see this flip. And we drove around the neighborhood. There's things selling there for $240. Same type of house. Nothing special done to them. You know, just basically put them back into livable order. This one, I gauge it needs about 50. We need to seal the roof right away. It has a lot of water damage. All the kitchens, all the doors are have to be replaced. The bathrooms need to be updated, and there's a separating wall that makes it a 3-3-2 that we have to put back up. Put block in instead of block or gypsum board, whichever.
And you'll have big enough bedrooms. They'll still be 10 by 10 at least.
Yeah, no. We walked in and they're huge. They're still comfortable.
Beautiful.
So you've raised the capital for this already?
Yeah, this is done. This is done and funded.
This is funded. You guys aren't invited. I'm sorry. It's too late for everyone watching.
And it's like I was talking about yesterday. It's like if you present these deals well enough to the point where you know your deal back and forth. I got a call, I think, in less than 10 minutes, and he wanted to fund that one and the next one.
That's awesome.
And that's how that worked, guys. You know, and I talked about it yesterday. The power of the WhatsApp chat is ridiculous. You don't know how much money there is in there until you go to get funding for your deals. So.
Well, and I just want to point this out, guys, of how compelling this story is. You've got a great purchase price. You've got a very reasonable renovation budget. I mean, $50,000 for a house this size gets you really far. Mm-hmm. And then I trust Adon that he has looked at the comps in the neighborhood, that this is a real number. As an investor, I would still run my own comps, even though I trust Adon. I just do that with everybody. But I guarantee that they're going to be correct. So that it's so easy to look at this and say, okay, do I have $135,000? And with that $135,000, do I want to make, half of $95,000? And Adon's even given you two different options here of doing a loan with a fixed return or doing an equity split. I mean, what's better than that? What's the percent return on this? What's the ROI?
You can figure it out. McKenna takes $90,000 and divide it by $135,000 investment.
Yeah, 47,500 because you get half. That's a 35% return. Yeah, that ain't bad.
That's not shabby.
That's not bad.
I wish I'd answered the phone and the Don didn't cut me out of it.
I know, man. What the heck?
You would have answered the phone. You were having your world domination meeting.
We were out on a jet ski, or we were done doing something.
Something.
That's the funniest thing.
Something foolish,
He
called me
after. And he's like, "Am I in that deal?" And I'm like, "Well, you didn't pick up the phone." He's like, "Yeah, well, I was on a jet ski, you know." And I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That was, can't answer your phone on a jet ski."
Mike says he's
Here,
going to be EMD'd this today. Is Mike your EMD funder?
he's Emmanuel's EMD funder.
Okay. Oh, okay. And then Emmanuel's wholesaling it to you?
Yeah, he's wholesaling it to me.
Well, Mike, that's looking really good for your side. You got a solid buyer on the back end who's already funded, so you're pretty confident in getting your EMD back.
When are you closing it, Don?
Mike,
In 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks. So
and Mike, what's your
Mike's
return?
gonna have his money out for 2 weeks or less, and he's
Probably
gonna
less.
get a return for putting up the deposit. Emmanuel, who we all want to be like Emmanuel, he's gonna make a nice commission or assignment fee. This is
Yep.
this is what our community does, guys. We have finders, we have funders, we have operators, and in this case, all of them are in Apex. Obviously, Don is co-founder of Apex with McKenna and I, and he's the operator on this deal. Mike is one of our longtime members, and he's funding the deposit, and he's going to probably
He's
make
invested with us too.
a really high return on funding the deposit.
He just put
Very
here he's making 10% in 30 days.
10% in 30 days. So then you go back to doing that. You can multiply that times 12. That's 120% a year if you could do that every single month.
And you got to compound it.
Well, if you can invest your profits as well, sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's the tricky part when you're funding EMDs, guys. They're relatively low. I would imagine Mike maybe put out
20
well,
grand.
it's an Emmanuel deal, so I don't know, but
Yeah,
maybe
it's an Emmanuel deal. He put out like 20 grand. It's a huge deposit. Like the house is probably what, $95,000 or something, and he had to put a $30,000 deposit down.
It's
Oh,
against
man.
all our morals and everything we teach, but it's a deal.
But it's a deal.
I would say that Emmanuel's doing it wrong, but he's done like 6 deals already, and we're not 2 weeks into the year, so
Yeah.
he's not doing it wrong. He's
The
not doing
funny
it
part is, Robert, you talk about all the time about speaking things into existence. You want to be a hotelier, and you told people about it and all that stuff. I literally was like a day or two before, and I didn't tell anybody, but I was like, I need to do 30 flips this year because, oh my God, I only did 2 last year. Even though the second one was one of the second biggest flips we're doing now.
Yeah.
But it's like it wasn't enough. And I'm like, I need to do at least a minimum of 30. And then these 2 deals popped up. I got another one in line, and then Nils brought me another one. So just gotta go look at that.
Okay, so Nils sent me something today, and I said, send that to Don. Nils said, Don won't ever answer me, and I said, I'll make sure that he will.
I answered her, and I told her
So
I
there
already
you go,
saw
Nils.
it.
He's answering you.
And
I told you I'd get him to do it.
I saw it. I saw it before she bought it, and there's just it's not the best flip. I saw that with Emmanuel, and I don't remember what I offered. I think I offered like $40,000 on it. She wants 95. So
now you got to see if you can make it work.
yeah. So we'll see. Be
But
like,
hers is in Carolina, right? In an area we like.
It's in Carolina, and the problem is it's one of those buildings that half of it's on the main road and the other half is like inside of urbanization. It's not gated, but it's one of those weird ones, and it looks like someone on the weekend with 2 6-packs said, hey, I'm gonna drop walls and I'm gonna do this here and I'm gonna do this there, and it's a mess. It needs all electrical, all plumbing, needs walls. What else?
And that's not the one we're showing on the screen now. This is a different one.
No. That's different. So what we have here is University Gardens. This is a 3-2 as well. It has a pool that I'm hoping that we can bring back to life. If not, I'm just gonna fill it in. And then and it's a really good area. So houses around that area are going anywhere from depending on the the next one. Depending on the you should have just gone. Sorry, I'm doing backseat driving here.
You got your brother chauffeuring you?
Yeah. I don't. We'll just leave it at that. What was I saying? All right. So it's 3-2 houses around the area selling for like 400,000, a little bit more depending if it's a little bit bigger. This one's a corner lot. It has a really big yard, has a pool. The doors and windows all look intact and they all look fairly modern. So I'm keeping all that stuff. I'm getting rid of a lot of these metal awnings that used to be cool back in the day. Getting rid of all that. And then we're replacing kitchens. Same thing as the other one. I think I gave myself a decent enough budget that we should be able to do it without going over anything. So, Biraki. And that one, I think the purchase price is 125. The renovation budget is 80. So we'll be all in for 205. And, I put a conservative number there of 330 to sell.
Yeah, and you've got some pretty good comps here. You got a 460 and a 461. Both of those are bigger. Actually, they're a lot bigger, huh?
Yeah.
Well, your house is big though, 21 to 2,200 square feet. I mean,
Is the
Big
pin there?
house. Yeah.
I have an address.
What town is this in? Bayamon?
No, this is Atorrey. This is right there next to
It's like right
that
here.
Santa. You know where Santa Rita is? You know that there's that urbanization in the back of all those houses. That's where that is.
Oh, nice.
There's a school right next to it. It's like pretty good area.
And then the other one, the first one. Where's that first one? What town?
That's San Juan as well, but that's
Venus
closer,
Gardens.
closer to Coupe.
Here it is on the map, Dad. If you can see
Both
that.
good areas, though. Yeah.
Hit him with the fucking car.
I like that. That Otto Ray house looks. Wow, that's really looking good. Good job.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Both of them look like good deals.
We've got two questions here. Giovanni AI says, "What's the best way to estimate renovation cost?" Adon, how'd you estimate these renos?
Well, I use our baseline, like $40 a square foot, and go from there, and then I go add or subtract depending on what I notice that I would change. So, for example, doors and windows, if I don't have to change them, that's a big save right there. But usually I'm, $40 a square foot is usually what I'm calculating. I mean, it's like you say, once you start doing a couple of these, you're just figuring it out. My last one was cost this much. If I want to do this, I add a little bit more or less. I don't have a scientific method besides this $40 square foot and up and down from there.
Well, and so, Giovanni, if you've never done it before and you don't have a contractor,
you get subcontractors.
If you don't have a contractor to go out there and look at it with you, I would try to judge in my mind: is this a big renovation, a medium renovation, or a small renovation?
Yeah, exactly.
And so what that would mean is if the doors and windows are there and you don't have to replace a kitchen and bathrooms,
yep,
that's a small renovation. You're going to do that. It's going to be a light renovation. That will cost you less than $40 a square foot. If you have to replace the kitchens, doors and windows and upgrade the bathrooms, that's that $40 a square foot. And if you need to replace all of the electrical and plumbing, plus the doors and windows in the kitchens, then you're going to be more than $40 a square foot. So that would be a large renovation. And that should help you pretty well to get down the line and decide what a good price is. So we like to use placeholders for the renovations when we're making the offers. And I think a fair placeholder, if you know nothing else, like if you can't get into it, just $50,000 for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,200 square foot house is usually going to be a fair amount that you plug in, and then you buy it off of that. If you get into it during your inspection and it needs a lot more than that, then you may need to lower your offer a little bit. If you get into it and it needs a lot less than that and your offer's already accepted, then you just win and you get to make a little extra money.
So let me clarify that for people who might be a little confused on terms. But you should be buying, especially if it's your first deal, you should be buying things with an inspection period where you get to bring in a contractor and they're going to give you a real quote, and you're not guessing anymore. So you guess when you're making your offer, you try and get it close to being right. But then you also negotiate a 10, a 15-day inspection period where you can cancel for any reason. And that's when you confirm your best guess. And you make sure that you were thinking about it the right way. And if you were wrong and it's way too expensive, you either renegotiate or you cancel. And that's totally fine. There's nothing wrong with that. So if anyone was confused, that's what that means. And then we've got another comment here.
Take the nice one.
No matter what time, we'll talk. 8608. He said, okay, that's the part I needed to hear. If it was a go or not, I would offer 85K plus wholesale fee. Appreciate you bringing it up, Robert, because only said he saw it and nothing else. What do you guys know what we're talking about here?
No fucking clue.
No, I don't understand this comment.
No matter what time, could you clarify what you're talking about here? I wonder if you could sell it to someone, Don. Are they offering to? Well, I guess the purchase was 85, so.
I mean, it still has wiggle room. I wouldn't,
Oh, that's Nils. So Nils, what were you saying about that? Well, we'll let Nils answer, and we'll go from there. Adon, great job on these deals, man. That's awesome.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm excited to get this thing going. I'm excited to see what's gonna come from it. I need 28 more, guys, so I'm in the market. Anything ARV sub 250, I wanna see it. Anything a little bit higher, I wanna see it.
You want to see everything. You just want to see that it's a good deal. So the price, when you're a flipper, when you're going to buy something, fix it up and sell it, especially at Don for you, when you have a community you can go to and partner up with people who have the money, people will say, what's your price range? It's not about a price range. It's about, is it a good deal or not? Because, for instance, you and I own a sub-penthouse condo in Condado that's very expensive. We bought it for over $500,000 and we're going to sell it for nearly $1.5 million. That's a pretty damn good spread, even with a large renovation. So you guys, it's all about the deal.
It's all about the deal is the most important thing. Guys, if you want to be on the Shark Tank, there is a form for you to fill out. If you want to be on next week, it's in Apex. It should still be pinned right to the top. Fill that out. We'll reach out to you and we'll bring you on for next week. Anything else that we want to talk about, guys, before we sign off here?
Did Bill present?
We can't get in contact with Bill. He's AWOL'd us.
Bill will be on next week then.
Bill will be on next week.
Get him to come in. He's got a pretty cool, very inexpensive deal in Ohio that I wish he was here to present, but
yeah, we need
it's
to
a good deal, guys. He presented to me on Friday. It's a good deal.
I'm thinking about trying to do Bill's deal, but I'm also interested in raising money for that marijuana deal.
Yeah,
that we talked about last week.
I would say Bill's deal is
easier.
A great deal for a entry level, investment. If you're not sure, if you got, 25 grand and you're like, well, I can't compete with bigger deals or anything like that. He has a great deal and he plans to refi whoever invests with him in a year. And it's a pretty big return. So,
Hey, and I'll just say this, guys, I like to clarify, we don't give out investment advice. If you invest with Bill, we don't know if it'll go good or bad. You might lose all your money. Probably you won't, but you might. Investments have risk. We're not guaranteeing results. So keep that in mind.
Yeah.
I do like Bill's deal, and I'm interested in trying to do it myself.
Yes.
well, all right, let's talk about that, McKenna. Maybe we can do it with him.
Yeah.
I've already done a deal with Bill, so I'm probably interested in doing another.
You got to get closer this way. Yeah. Nah, just go. I'll park the car. Just go.
All right. And so parking advice from Adon to Sebastian.
Yes, get a fucking Uber. That's my parking advice. You don't have to park, and he doesn't get mad.
I love it.
McKenna, are we done with the deals part of the Shark Tank today? Do we have any other questions?
We're all out of deals. We are. Have we talked to Jennifer Cortez? We have, right?
Yes, Jennifer Cortez is going to come in and teach a masterclass for the Apex group this week on Thursday. She wants us to send over contracts that we use. I told her we have some sample docs, but we don't really endorse our own contract because we don't.
I mean, they're really
our form's not necessarily the best form or anything like that. It's just a contract, really. But she wants to take us through how to fill these things out. So McKenna, I think I shared a text with you earlier where she's asking us to share some forms, and we'll at least have that to go through.
So, guys, she's going to come in on Thursday, and Jennifer Cortez is a transaction coordinator, and she is going to talk to everybody about the process of closing, some contract stuff. You know, it'll be nitty gritty, but that's the stuff everybody here likes. They like being in the weeds. They like talking about contracts. They like looking at deals. So we'd love to see everybody on Thursday for the masterclass, and then the week after that, you guys are should be proud of us. We have the next 6 months of master classes scheduled and planned out. Let me tell you what's going to be on the calendar for the rest of the month. I believe that it is funding, but let's see. I've got it pulled up here. How to present a deal to investors, just like Adon did. You know, we'll probably use his one-pagers in that masterclass. That'll be on January 22nd. And then on the 29th, we're tentatively having Bill Halleck come in to talk about using traditional financing on a deal. You know, how do you get creative with a VA loan? How do you get creative with an FHA loan? What are things that you can do? How can you make money, you know, being just a traditional funding? And then in February 5th, we're going to go right off of that and go, how do you fund a deal? How do you raise capital? How do you get creative and use non-traditional funding? So I've got the whole schedule here in front of me, guys, and it's going to be a freaking jam-packed 6 months that I'm pretty excited about. Monica's got a question. Let's answer that, and then I think we'll sign off. When you were talking about international properties, does that include the U.S. Virgin Islands? What is the status of the U.S. Virgin Islands? They're a territory like Puerto Rico, correct?
Yeah, this is St. Thomas. Is St. Martin, St. John's. So it could include that, right? We're already doing deals in Puerto Rico. We would do a deal if it was good enough anywhere. The difference, I think, would be that in Roatan, when McKenna and I went there and we were looking at dozens of projects, including infrastructure and including hospitals and airports being expanded. And then the developer is just so dialed in that it's hard to not want to invest with him. And in fact, if anybody's interested in that, if you guys want to learn more about international investing, I think a really great thing that could be fun for us to do, and you guys can let us know if you'd be interested in this. We could plan a trip back to Roatan and go look at these projects together and teach a master class or a mastermind group. This would be something we haven't really ever talked about. Adon's never been in this, but McKenna and I have had minor discussions about doing this sometime later this year if there's enough interest. So if you guys would be interested in that, there'd be an expense to it. Obviously, you got to travel to Roatan, and we'd have to pay for the cook, the cook and
the private chef,
snorkels, yeah, a private chef, boats, so that we can fish and scuba diving and zip lining and all of that stuff. But I'm talking about an adventure where we'd go and we'd learn something about an area. Maybe we learn something about international investing and treat it like a mastermind / fun time. If that's something that enough people were interested in, I would go through the effort of setting it up. McKenna and I and Adon would go through the effort of setting it up. So don't tell me that you're interested if you're not really interested. Just, it's fine to not comment, but if somebody out there is interested, if we get enough people, that's something that we could be talked into doing.
Yeah,
I will tell you
put a
this
comment in
too.
the chat if that's something you'd like to do, and like you said, if you say yes, I mean, don't let us plan this whole thing and then not really want to come. So,
And it will be one hell of a good time. Like, we went and just sort of accidentally got to go fishing on the last day, and we did some things that were fun and adventurous, but that wasn't the plan. Our plan was literally to drive around and look at ugly real estate, and we did get to look at lots and lots of real estate, and we saw lots of opportunity. So, anyways, that's just something that if enough of you want to do it, we'll do it.
Yammy's interested, always up for a vacation.
I
I
would
love
call it
that.
mostly like an experiential vacation, and we'll put it all together. There'll be an expense, but it won't be super expensive.
The nice thing about going on a trip like this is you get to pretend that it's for work. So the whole time you're there, you don't have to say I'm on vacation. You get to be like, oh yeah, I'm being productive as I'm ziplining through the jungle and
Or
riding a
scuba
jet ski
diving or
and going.
riding a jet
And
ski.
it is a write-off. Mike's right on that too. It's a write-off.
Yep.
This is a business expense because we really will go to construction sites and we'll see what's being built, and I enjoy doing that stuff. So I really like going to look at this hillside that they've completely terraced out. I mean, it's just so cool to me. I don't know if anybody here has ever done anything like that, but can you imagine looking at a hill covered in jungle and then saying, yeah, I'm going to take that thing and I'm going to build 20 houses on it. And then you come in with the bulldozer and the crane and you build out 20 lots carved into the mountain. I mean, it's pretty dang cool to see that.
It was really eye-opening for me. I've always been able to envision what a nasty house will look like when I'm done renovating it. I have never had the vision before this trip where I could look at, like you said, a mountain and go, oh, we could put roads in here, and we'll stair step so that everybody has a view of the ocean and the sunset, and they'll be high enough so that the houses don't get in the view of the other house. And this guy that we were watching, we just, he's telling us what he's going to do while we're looking at this big mountain, and then he takes us to a place where he's done it, and then he takes us to another place where he's not only built the lots, but he's built the houses, and we get to stay in a big 6,000 square foot mansion with a view of the ocean, and it was pretty impressive. I'm going to be honest.
I had a good time.
I'm not that easily impressed. I was very, very impressed. I was very impressed, and I'm impressed with what's happening in Roatan in general. Because a lot of the roads are worse than Puerto Rico, but the roads that they're building are better than the island of Puerto Rico. And
the brand new roads are super nice, and they've got a great power structure. And
the power never went out one time while we were there.
Yeah,
that was
really
very interesting. It's still very expensive, the power.
Yeah. We're going to release a video about that in the next few weeks, guys. So be on the lookout.
See that.
Hey, everybody that's here, go like and subscribe to some videos on our channel, please. We need the boost. We need some views and some love. We need some comments. Like this video. I think that's it for tonight, guys. Do you have any other announcements that we need to make while we're here?
Nope.
All right. Well, we've got Yami. I'm going to count Mike in because I know he wants to come. Mary Lorenzo's got the plane emoji, and Taj Warner. They're all interested in Roatan.
Let's go.
We'll keep you guys in mind if we do end up planning something like this. You'll hear about it. We'll be shouting it from the rooftops. But
we'll announce it well ahead of time.
Yeah. When would you guys want to go? Would June kind of middle of the summer timeline work?
Nope.
No. What are you doing, Adon?
My daughter's birthday and no au pair. Guys, if
but you could have your daughter. This is the beautiful thing. You could have your daughter's birthday in a mansion on a mountain overlooking the ocean, and then swimming in the ocean with turtles and dolphins and oh my.
Yeah, as long as we all travel together, so everybody could take a break.
Oh,
you hold the
Adon,
baby.
This house that McKenna and I stayed in. It was nice.
Yeah,
It was real posh.
Adon, we stayed in a house that's nicer than any of the houses we live in. It was pretty nice.
Nicer than the McMansion?
No,
Found on par with the. I actually think the McMansion's nicer, but
yeah, one step below the McMansion.
yeah,
But
One step below.
ocean views that were
the views were definitely better. Way better lot than the McMansion.
But our McMansion build is bigger and nicer.
You see, guys, you can tell you're in a group of real estate investors when the real estate investors travel to these beautiful places and don't take pictures to show other real estate investors.
I never take pictures. I did take some videos. I put some videos out there for you guys.
I've got some videos. Let me see what I got here of
no
the house.
photos. Not even to rub it in my face and be like,
Adon, I don't know. I mean, probably you saw my little video, but when we showed up, we were standing in line to get through customs.
Oh, guys, crazy.
The guy heard that the line was long, so he called the customs agent and had to get us out of line and pulled us up to the front and walked us through in front of 300 people. You talk about first class. It was like, damn. So if you guys come with us on the Roatan trip, I can't promise that we'll get scooped up out of the line, but I'm telling you, it's a possibility, and it does make you feel like you're
guys. And when we say we're in the customs lines, we're talking about, there's a line of 300 people in front of us, one agent, and the government officials are everywhere. And then this lady just comes up to us in line with our photos and says, "Is this you?" And we're like, "Yes, it is." She pulls us out of line, takes us to the very front, opens up a new booth just for us, does all of our paperwork for us. And she's like, "Where are you staying?" And we're like, "We don't know."
And she called someone and said, "Oh, you're staying at this place." I'm like, "Oh, yeah. Great."
And then sent us through in front of 300 people, all that were in front of us in line. It was crazy, guys. I mean, man, I've never seen anything like it. I've got a video for us here. If I can send it to my phone. It's a little big, so I'm trying to get it there. Man, well, it was a great trip, though.
Well, while you guys were jet skiing,
you were making money.
You were buying houses.
Yeah.
Yep. Taking care of gassy babies.
Well, we were buying houses too. I mean, so this condo that we're going to buy, I have never done this, but I've seen repeatedly people who, when you see the money pouring in and you know that things are going to get more expensive, if you invest in the pre-construction, it can often be profitable. And the reason that I'm so excited about this is this developer is so dialed in. I mean, he's going to spend the night at the Honduran White House on inauguration night later this month. And the new president is going to invest millions and millions of dollars in infrastructure, expanding the airport on the island, fixing the roads, everything that you want as a real estate investor to see. And the lift, when we think about value add real estate investing, if you think about an island that has dirt roads and potholes and no power, to changing pretty much overnight over the next couple of years to really nice paved roads with power and running water and things like that on the island, that's a massive lift. And then this guy's bought all the land that's in the way of this progress so that he can build these great big beautiful properties and then sell them to people who want to come and snorkel and scuba dive and do all of the fun stuff that you can do in Roatan.
All right, guys. Well, it was so good to see everybody. We'll keep everyone updated. Look for info on the master classes. Look for this trip to Roatan if we end up doing it. It's good to see everybody. We'll see everybody on Thursday. Have a good night.
All right. Good night, everyone.
This is Emmanuel, and in just 3 weeks, he found the deal of a lifetime, negotiated an offer, got it accepted, found the EMD from a third party, me, and then found the buyer to sell it. Now, how did he do all of that? He's a member of the Flip Flop Flipper Apex community. And inside of Apex, he was able to find the buyer who's an operator. He was able to find someone who wanted to put up the money, and he's got the deal of a lifetime done, and is going to make $40,000 on his very first deal. So if that sounds good to you, and you want to be like Emmanuel, comment Apex, and I'll send you the link.